Well, I think, me personally, that I am one of the best boxers in the world, male or female. I think it's Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, me. That's it.
You serious?
It annoys me that I have to talk about this, but I feel like it's only right that I give my take on this ridiculous situation when it comes to Claressa Shields. Now, when I look at someone like Claressa Shields, I see someone who just lives too far in their own delusions and falls victim to their own damn hype. Now, I don't want this to come off and want people to think that this is going to be some misogynistic rant about how this woman needs to stay in her place and she needs to be in the kitchen and not be in a boxing ring. And no. But the nonsense she's been pulling the past few years when it comes to her beliefs about what she could do to a grown-ass man in a boxing ring has just got to stop. And when I look at Claressa Shields, I see a woman who's very, very talented and has a high boxing pedigree and has done a very decent job promoting herself amongst the masses when it comes to the sport of boxing. With her being an undisputed champion at 160 pounds and being a multiple division world champion and self-proclaimed GOAT, basically beating everyone that's been put in front of her, it goes without saying, why is this woman seemingly so damn unhappy? Why does being the GOAT of her own sport not seem to be enough for her in terms of her overall praise and recognition? Why does she seem to carry around a thought process of hate towards certain male boxers and what she could do to them inside of a boxing ring? If I had to really break this down and break these questions down and give my answers under my own accord and give my own conclusions as to what I believe the problem is, I would come up with the simple conclusion of it just seems like it's a little bit of a clear resentment. Now, obviously, I don't know this woman personally, so I can't give my personal description of her personality, but just based off of the interviews and the things she says in the media, she seems to be someone who carries resentment towards her male counterparts like Keith Thurman, who's done a decent job throughout his career making a decent amount of money as the unified welterweight champion that he was, something that she can only dream of accomplishing. Now, what I mean by what she could accomplish, I'm talking about in terms of revenue and the money that he's made throughout his career, not in terms of the belts that she's won. That's not what I'm talking about when I say she can only dream of accomplishing that. But if you really want to break this down and really dive deep into it, just looking at the sparring tape of her sparring male, boxers, you can see the delusion just from watching that. Most men she spars are clearly holding back as they should, and they're clearly not high pedigree level boxers. And that's what makes the Keith Thurman thing so fucking annoying when I read it. It's just ridiculous. She just comes off as flat out ludicrous with her statements, and she seems to think he's really there to be had or some shit. I just don't get it. She's trying so hard to create attention for herself with these ludicrous call-outs because the current roster of women that she can fight and the talent pool that she can fight to make some money off of is extremely low. I mean, when you survey the landscape of the women's boxing divisions, I mean, who would she fight? A rematch with Vanna Marshall, a rematch with Hannah Gabriels. I mean, who's there for her to fight? A theoretical matchup between her and Alicia Baumgartner that may or may not happen, and it probably won't happen anytime soon with Baumgartner being basically on the shelf right now because of the PED or steroid allegations she's been put in. Hell, even another example of her trying to create attention for herself is that the ludicrous call that she called when she called out Layla Ali, of all people, a few years ago. A woman who's been retired for over 15 years and hasn't, is in her mid-40s. You had to call her out to try to create some attention for yourself. It's just ridiculous, And obviously, Layla Ali's not going to do that, because she has nothing to... Besides making money, what does she have to gain by doing that? She believes she could win, but what's the point? I don't know. If I had to really give my hypothetical, I think I'd probably pick Claressa Shields in a fight between those two, but it'd be close. But it's just ridiculous. It's just another example of her trying to create attention for herself because there's no talent pool in the sport of boxing that can create it with her. It's sad, but it's just the truth. Now, when it comes to Keith Thurman, if I were him, I would simply do this. Fuck a boxing match, because obviously no athletic commission is going to sanction such a ridiculous bout for obvious damn reasons. But if I was him, I would call up my management team, call her team up, and try to set up a sparring match on the low. Nobody has to know about it. Nobody has to, never even has to, be found out about. You know, I could fly her in, or I could fly out to where she's at, fly out to a neutral location. We can get in the ring, do 3 3-minute rounds. Let her taste the power. Let her handle the speed and the boxing ability, and see if this is something that she wants to, pursue in a real situation. I guarantee you, after that situation, she's not gonna want to have nothing to do with that. I'm telling you. Just even if you want to just do a hypothetical scenario of them two fighting, it's just ridiculous. Because, I mean, in the first round of the fight, if I just had to really give my hypothetical scenario, it's just the moment she gets hit with some real power, some real speed that she's never had to deal with in her career, she's gonna panic and she's gonna make a lot of mistakes, and she's gonna get knocked flat the fuck out in the middle of the ring, and it's gonna make him look bad, in the minds of the people. It's not gonna do him any good. It's a lose-lose for him. But if I had to do just a hypothetical scenario, what he should do if I were him, that's what I would do. I guarantee you, after all of that, she would shut the fuck up and not have any sort of thought process of what she can do to a male. But knowing the situation that she's put herself in with this boxer that she got dropped by, and making excuses about him loading his gloves and, cheating and, just being dirty, it's just ridiculous. It just speaks to even more insecurities out of her. The moment you actually do get tested by a male boxer, somebody who's not even on Keith Thurman's radar in terms of pedigree, not even close, and you get dropped on your ass and hurt, you run with the excuses. I mean, come on now. Man, that's what makes the comments that she made back in 2019 so ridiculous, where she claimed she could beat Sean Porter in a boxing match and said she would give Triple G a run for his money. Triple fucking G. Yeah, you would give him a run, alright, as in run for your life, run out the damn ring. Just listening to this shit she says and talking in that type of manner just annoys the shit out of me, because it screams insecurity and weird wannabe masculine type of vibes. Like, we get it. You want to be a dude really, really bad. It's clear as day you want to be a dude. It's very clear you want the approval of males as well as everyone else. And that can speak to problems that she may or may not have had in her childhood. Like I said before, I don't know her. Never met her a day in my life. Don't know her at all. I'm just going off of what I hear when she speaks in general. She just comes off in that type of way. It annoys the shit at me when I hear her speak like this, because it just, like I said, it screams of insecure vibes. You're not secure with who you are as a person, and that's really, really sad for somebody who's accomplished everything that she's accomplished. Now, to really cap this video off, I just want to state, at some point in her career and possibly her life, she's going to need to grow up and understand that alienating your fan base, which is predominantly male fans anyway, is not going to help your career in terms of gaining revenue and making money. Having this mindset of being, anti-men and having all this disdain for certain male figures, in a sense, is never going to appeal to the consumers that buy your product. For her sake, I hope she comes back down to reality soon. But with, how she took the ass whooping she got from that male boxer, in a sense, doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. It wouldn't shock me if she has, sort of the same type of fall from grace the way Ronda Rousey did in MMA years ago, where she got embarrassed and basically dropped off the face of the earth afterwards. I hope that's not the case, but it wouldn't shock me if that plays a factor and that happens. Thank you all for watching, and as always, until we meet again.